You just bought a McDonald's franchise, and at first, it feels like you made a safe decision, because from the outside, it looks simple. Burgers, fries, drinks, people come in, people leave, money comes in. It feels predictable, almost automatic. But that illusion only lasts until the system starts running without you. Because the moment your store opens, something strange happens. Costs appear immediately, before a single customer even matters. Rent is already due. Equipment payments are already active. Staff scheduling is already locked in. Insurance is already calculated. And none of it depends on whether you sell anything today. That's the first hidden rule of this business. Revenue is optional at the start, but expenses are not. And that imbalance creates pressure instantly. Because now you're not trying to grow, you're trying not to fall behind. Then the doors open. Customers start entering. At first, it looks like success. Orders are coming in, receipts are printing, food is moving. And for a moment, it feels like everything is working exactly as expected. But then you notice something subtle. Nobody is talking about profit. Nobody is talking about taste. Nobody is even talking about sales anymore. The only thing the system seems to care about is speed. How fast orders are taken. How fast food is delivered. How fast tables turn over. And that changes the entire meaning of the restaurant. Because now, you're not measuring success in meals. You're measuring it in time. And time is not forgiving. A slow order doesn't just feel bad. It breaks the flow of the system. An empty table isn't just empty space. It's lost capacity. A delay in the kitchen isn't just a delay. It spreads across everything like a chain reaction. And suddenly, you realize something uncomfortable. You are not being judged by customers. You are being judged by throughput. So you hire employees. And this is where things become unstable. Because now every decision has two consequences. If you hire too few people, everything slows down. Orders pile up, customers leave, the system breaks. But if you hire too many people, something else breaks. Your profit disappears. Your costs rise faster than your output. So you're stuck between two failures, and neither option is safe. This is the first real contradiction of the business. Efficiency is not about doing more. It's about balancing failure carefully. And that's much harder than it sounds. Then the lunch rush hits, and everything changes at once. The restaurant stops feeling like a place where food is made and starts feeling like a machine that cannot stop moving. Orders stack in real time. Grills never pause. Fries are constantly replaced. Drinks are poured in repetition. And humans stop acting like individuals. They become parts of a workflow. Not cooking, executing. And here's the key shift. Nothing is creative anymore. Everything is repetitive on purpose. Because repetition is what keeps the system stable. But stability has a cost. It removes flexibility, and that becomes important later. Then the drive-thru starts dominating everything. Because inside the drive-thru, something different happens. Time becomes visible. Every car has a timer attached to it. Every second is tracked indirectly through flow. And the system reacts instantly to delays. Because delays don't stay local. They spread backward into the entire chain. One slow order affects 10 more. And now the entire business begins reorganizing itself. Not around quality, not around experience, but around flow efficiency. The goal is no longer to serve food. The goal is to keep movement continuous. But even that is not the deepest layer. Then something else becomes clear. Location is more powerful than anything happening inside the kitchen. Because a perfectly run restaurant in the wrong location will fail. But a mediocre restaurant in a high traffic location can survive easily. And that reveals something deeper. The system is not built around skill. It is built around positioning. Where you exist matters more than what you do. But even that is still not the core of the system. Because then, corporate control enters the picture. And your role changes slightly. You still own the restaurant, but you don't fully control it. There are standards you must follow, rules you cannot break, fees you cannot avoid, and systems you are required to maintain. Everything is designed for consistency across thousands of locations, which means your restaurant is no longer unique. It is interchangeable. And at this point, something important becomes clear. You are not an independent operator. You are a unit inside a larger structure. But the structure still hasn't fully revealed its purpose yet. So we zoom out and we look at everything together. Labor, speed, location, menu design, corporate rules, drive-thru flow, all of it connects, but not in the way most people think, because none of these systems exist for food. They exist for one thing, and that thing is not obvious at first. Throughput, the number of transactions processed over time. Cars in, orders processed, cars out, repeat. That is the entire system compressed into its simplest form. And once you see it, everything else becomes secondary, even the food. Because the food is not the goal. It is just the medium that makes the system work. A physical object that enables movement, a reason for transactions to exist. Nothing more. And that is the final realization. You didn't buy a restaurant. You bought a machine that converts time into transactions. And every decision inside that machine is optimized for flow. Not food, not experience, flow. And once you understand that, you stop seeing McDonald's as a restaurant at all. You start seeing it as a system that processes human behavior at scale. And that raises one final question. If everything is optimized so precisely, then who is really controlling it? The owner? The customer? Or the system itself?